le Grand Prix de Monaco, le Grand Prix de tous les superlatifs, anachroniques, dangereux, excitants. C'est la course que tous les pilotes de Formule 1 rêvent de gagner au moins une fois dans leur carrière. Il fait partie de la triple couronne, ce Grand Prix de Monaco, avec les 24 heures du Mans et les 500 miles d'Indianapolis. C'est la course à remporter.
For the drivers, it's the biggest challenge of the year.
Leclerc qui essaye de faire l'extérieur sur Norris.
Oh, et ça s'est touché.
C'est super spécial.
It's very special for me because this is the city where I grew up. I know every corner of Monaco, and to drive it in Formula One at speeds a little bit faster than taking the bus is something very special.
C'est vraiment spécial.
Il a bien fait de se jeter, là, Charles Leclerc. Tout peut arriver à Monaco.
That's what I love about Monaco. It's always very glamorous and there's no room for error. And that's what I love about this circuit.
On est toujours avec Charles Leclerc dans la montée en direction du casino maintenant. Il est parfaitement placé.
It's where I grew up and it's where my passion for Formula One started. Now we should go because it's cold.
Monaco is the Grand Prix of all Grand Prix. When you talk about Formula One, the first Grand Prix that comes to mind is Monaco.
Monaco is probably one of the 3 most legendary races in world motor racing.
There's an absolutely incredible atmosphere with the port and the boats.
I don't just love the Monaco Grand Prix, I'm crazy about it.
It's a totally unique circuit.
It's a circuit we dream of driving. It's a race we dream of racing, and it's a prize we dream of winning.
You're driving through the heart of the city. It's an amazing experience for the driver.
C'est la course à remporter. Monaco qui se part de tous ses plus beaux atours, des centaines de kilomètres de rails, un circuit dessiné au cœur de la ville, le plus risqué peut-être de toutes les épreuves.
Monaco is hosting its 78th Formula One Grand Prix. The Principality will become the center of the sporting world for a weekend.
Là, ça bouge beaucoup à Monaco.
It's a busy time as Monaco prepares for the Grand Prix, with the grandstands that go up very quickly from one week to the next.
C'est toujours super.
This phase of the Grand Prix is always very impressive. I've lived in Monaco since I was a child, and I know Monaco the city, but there's also all this preparation for the Grand Prix when the city is transformed into a Formula One circuit.
Every year, Monaco repeats this incredible feat. The city streets become a Formula One track, the most legendary, the most glamorous, the most watched in the world.
Radio Monaco, Made in Monte Carlo.
Le Rocher dans les starting blocks, il attend d'ici quelques jours la livraison de son circuit de Formule 1. Début pour la principauté de sa grande métamorphose.
It all starts here, a few kilometers outside Monaco.
Kevin, loop it at the bottom. Tension at 5 tons, please. Okay, go ahead, take the load. Easy, lift it onto the hook. Great, you're free to go.
Ronan Le Gallou is in charge of the circuit's external structures. This is what it looks like now. Dozens of metal blocks scattered across a wasteland.
This is what's behind it. These are all the pits. There are 12 Monaco Grand Prix pits, and those fins here will sit atop the terraces, like a terrace cover. That's for the teams. And behind, there are all the footbridges that are used by the public for crossing the circuit. Once assembled, they're 26 meters long and weigh almost 30 tons.
It's a racetrack that can be assembled and disassembled, like a puzzle.
It's like a Lego construction of the Monaco circuit.
The most precious elements of this giant puzzle are these 16 structures with tinted windows. They will house a key element, race management.
The problem is this glazing. I'll show you, you can see for yourself. The modules are assembled up against each other, and if you knock it here, it's over. If they get broken, that's a 6-week delay. And with no race management, there's no Grand Prix. Today, we dismantled this floor. This whole floor was taken down and stored on the truck so we can assemble what's underneath. Here. There's still a truck to load with the 2 sections of staircases from this floor. We got everything done for today, right on time.
The next step is to transfer it by convoy to Monaco. In the Principality, the Grand Prix is a state affair. In the palace's clock tower is the office of Prince Albert II.
Okay, Christine.
Yes, sir.
Let's have a look at the schedule for the next few weeks.
Quite a few new appointments have been added. There's the testing, and we'll need to add a few things.
Indeed.
This year, for the first time in its history, the Monaco circuit will be hosting 3 competitions.
In terms of the historique and the E-formula, I think everything is pretty well set.
That's right.
Now for the Grand Prix.
Yes,
I don't know if I'll be going to the Amber Lounge.
absolutely.
It's a slightly unusual event that we don't have at any other time of the year. And it's very demanding, and you have to be in shape. It's incredible how motor races, and F1 in particular, bring such a strange dynamic. And it's the buzz around the drivers and the teams that makes
A lot of energy.
a lot of energy and an extraordinary atmosphere. The circuit doesn't open until 7:30 p.m. on Saturday, right?
Right.
More than 100 tons of material is on its way to the port of Monaco, including the precious glass structures.
Ronan for Alex.
Yes, Alex.
You need to watch the glass panels carefully.
Potholes, low balconies, roadworks in the town. Everything has been noted and checked. The most delicate maneuver involves passing beneath the arch of the exotic garden.
They're very fragile. It's made to measure, so the slightest scratch would be a disaster.
The blocks are delivered intact.
The work that goes into constructing and deconstructing the circuit is absolutely incredible.
With these temporary structures, it's one of the best equipped circuits in the world.
When you see that big stand going up, that's the sign that the Monaco season is about to begin.
On the Beau Rivage Hill, another team is working amidst the traffic.
This one over here.
Marco Basso is the team leader. For the past 20 years, he has been in charge of laying all the safety barriers on the circuit. And for this Formula One fan, helping construct the track is a real privilege.
It's the only Grand Prix in a city. We erect it and we take it down. That's the beauty of it. And when you get to work on something you love, that's the best. What number do you have? Do you have number 40? Is it 40? What number do you have? Huh?
65.
Each barrier and each post are numbered.
Monaco est quand même un circuit particulier.
Monaco is a unique circuit for the simple reason that the track runs through the city, so it's very close to the barriers.
Qui sont très proches de la piste.
Sur un circuit
On
comme
a circuit like
Monaco,
Monaco, there's no clearance, only barriers.
Il y a que des rails.
Vous êtes souvent entre les
There are
rails.
barriers on both sides most of the time,
Et donc,
so the slightest mistake,
erreur,
and you'll hit them.
Et
Flirting with the barriers like that is something very emotional.
émouvant, on a des émotions à voir ces
It's very emotional to see these drivers like that. You feel like you're watching gladiators.
En train de courir sur ce circuit-là.
It's 9 p.m. Pierre Pergola is in charge of asphalting the track.
Careful with that.
This year, 2/3 of the track is being resurfaced.
These streets are impacted by heavy traffic all year long, and a wide variety of traffic. Buses, cars, heavy vehicles, exceptional convoys too. All of this causes wear and tear on the surface, and we can't have that for the Grand Prix.
On this hairpin curve, the Formula One drivers turn through almost 180 degrees.
C'est le virage le
It's
plus
the
serré
tightest
de
and slowest corner in Formula One.
Formule 1. Chaque
Every centimetre is critical in terms of braking because we're at very low speeds, and the slightest difference in terms of braking means a lot of time lost.
The most important thing is the Grand Prix route. That's what determines our work. The cars come across to here. This is the rumble strip where they go. It's the Grand Prix trajectory. We try to cover it as much as possible with the machines.
All the engineers from Ferrari come back here to collect data from the new tarmac. Then they put that in the simulator and we test them virtually before trying out the real track.
sur le vrai circuit.
From tomorrow morning, buses and private individuals will be using this fresh portion of the future circuit.
Hello, my name is Frederic. I'm your guide over these 2 training days. We should have Johan at number 38, Adrian at 32, and Zoe Jacques 26. All good? Let's go.
Zoe is one of the 69 aspiring new track marshals. They have 2 days to convince the Automobile Club of their motivation and physical ability. Is it a big day for you today?
Yes, my legs are shaking.
Some tests can eliminate you.
This one's called the Gazelle.
The Gazelle is a race combining balance, power, and speed.
When you're pulling the cart, you realize you're not that strong. You have to pull it, but it's really difficult. Then at one point, you have to pick up a tire and carry it around the cones. That was when my heart was pounding, but I made it.
140.
Are you going to be okay?
I didn't eat this morning. Big mistake.
You need to catch your breath.
Le Rocher has been training elite marshals since 1973. It was created in response to a drama that marked the history of the Grand Prix. When Ferrari driver Lorenzo Bandini was killed in an accident in Monaco in 1967.
Bandini's crashed.
Good Lord, look at that.
The car, it looks like it's upside down, Phil.
I was at the chicane where it happened. There were 5 or 6 marshals along with a poor firefighter with 9-kilo extinguisher, which didn't go far. And Bandini took a long time to be extinguished.
There's somebody coming out. There are firemen stationed around the course here.
And when I became president, I decided, as much for those who had to intervene but were held back by the flames, as for those whose lives might be saved, such as that poor driver, that we could create a school for marshals. I was quite surprised that it was such an instant success.
When you come onto the track, you must be extremely careful. Always keep your eye in the direction of the traffic, okay?
54 years after Bandini's accident, the 600 marshals who will be on the Formula One circuit this year must face the same scenario, but this time in a simulation.
It's burning, guys! Let's do this! The driver is burning! Let's put it out!
They're the best track marshals in the world. They are ultra efficient.
It's like an army. They're super fans, super well trained, and totally professional.
As soon as there's an accident or a car to get out of the way, they deal with it in a matter of seconds.
Your crew members on the floor! What are we doing here?
Firefighter down! Firefighter down!
Go help them!
It's stressful. They're all shouting at us to pile on the pressure and create stress. But if there is a fire, the goal is to put it out and not be afraid of it.
They need to go straight here between the posts.
They started assembling the circuit just 2 weeks ago.
It's odd, the difference in lighting. Let's stop over here, this is good.
Christian Tornatore, General Commissioner of the Automobile Club, and his assistant Roman Pugliese check every step, every bolt, every surface.
This is also the escape lane from turn 1. This is where we recover cars that are in trouble. There are a lot of crashes here because the cars try to overtake each other just before braking. And when they brake, they're moving at 290 kilometers per hour.
This is the famous Sainte-Devote curve, turn number 1.
They can miss their braking point or be hit and sent off course, leaving them only one way out, which goes all the way to the bottom, where they can still turn around and head off the other way.
And that's PK's car and Patrese going off. Riccardo Patrese in the Alfa Romeo.
It's a braking surface. If you put your foot down and push forward, you'll see that you're stuck. It's important, and it hasn't deteriorated over the years. I think it's been 3 years now.
It's poured concrete.
There's a hollow here, right here, just where the two meet. There's a little dip. This is an area where the cars are pushing forward and could be re-accelerating, so it could slow them down. We'll need to redo the joint because they'll be speeding straight up here, accelerating right to the top. It's never ending. We're always on the track, and we notice everything right away.
Since the 2019 Grand Prix, La Place du Casino has been given a makeover with new paving and a new traffic flow. But it's still one of the most glamorous stretches, and the spectators love it.
They're moving at 280 kilometers an hour at the top of the hill, so they must be about 240 kilometers per hour there. Then they slow down before attacking this bend, which banks slightly. You can see the slope. It's an adverse camber right before the Spelug descent.
For the drivers, the square's new layout doesn't change much. On the other hand, Christian and Romain have to make sure that the view from the grandstand is appropriately impressive.
These magnificent palm trees, which are almost 10 meters high, are right in the line of vision for spectators in the stand. We'll have to remove them.
In the early morning up at Fontvieille, a mysterious delivery is underway. It's a gift for Prince Albert II. A priceless Ferrari is about to join the prince's private car collection. In 1953, car enthusiast Prince Rainier III started his collection. 100 cars of all ages that he had restored. In a few moments, Charles Leclerc will present Prince Albert II with this car, which is very important to him.
I was thinking that afterwards, what we could do, there might even be an older one.
Okay.
We could put the three side by side to show how it has evolved. What do you think?
Oh, yeah, that would be great.
1, 2, 3. Don't tear off the spoiler.
The SF90 is the Ferrari with which Charles Leclerc won his first 2 Formula One Grand Prix.
I've given you the suit and the helmet, now you just need the shoes and gloves.
It's amazing.
And it's exactly the same chassis with which I won Monza and Spa.
The halo is super important.
It saved Roman's life, I think. In Bahrain, it was a huge collision. I fulfilled all my dreams with this car. Not all, but almost. My first victory in Formula One, first time as a Ferrari driver, and my first pole position too. It's exactly this chassis that won in Spa and Monza. My first 2 Formula One victories, so yes, it means a lot to me.
The constant evolution in Formula One is quite extraordinary. Not just the materials that are used, but the technology, the size, and the carbon footprint of these cars. It's really quite spectacular. Thank you so much to Charles Leclerc for this gesture and the gift of this wonderful car that carried him to victory.
With 2 days to go before the first race of the season, one section of the circuit is about to emerge from the shadows, the tunnel. It's the fastest stretch of the track. It's also the only covered portion of the entire World Championship, so it needs to be lit.
The tunnel is always intimidating because you go from daylight into the tunnel where it's very dark. There's a short moment when your eyes adapt to the light, but the most dazzling part is when you come out of the tunnel into bright daylight, and that can be blinding. There's always a little moment of adaptation, but when you're going at 270 or 280 kilometers an hour, you can cover a lot of meters in that moment.
We just set it off. You can hear it. It's just come on behind you.
To mitigate these changes in brightness, the technicians have been adding more lights every year for the past 2 decades.
Okay. Now, angle it. This way? Great.
Pierre Haligien is in charge of this project.
At the start, you need power because they're coming out of the sunshine. So they need power there. And at the end, before they go back into the sunlight, we gradually bring the power back up. We're definitely not trying to light up the drivers. We're trying to give a level of light in front of them.
The idea for this extra light came from a driver, Alan Prost.
When you entered the tunnel, it was like a black hole, a really black hole. And once or twice a car went into a spin. Even if you trust the Marshals, you still might not see it. So we asked for lights at the entrance as a minimum, because once you're in, it's different.
On the Beau Rivage Rise, this scaffolding will hold the circuit's biggest screen. 160 square meters visible in daylight at more than 300 meters. It will ensure that spectators in the stands and guests on the balcony won't miss any part of the race and its adventures. Nearly 1 billion viewers tune into the Formula One Grand Prix. On the other side of the harbor, the spectacle's technicians have just arrived.
In the gray flight case, maybe?
Grips, location managers, sound engineers, special effects technicians, camera operators, cable technicians, editors, directors, bus managers, video engineers, sound operators, slow motion operators, a 110-strong crew. Jean-Julien Michaud is coordinating what will be one of the 10 most watched broadcasts in the world again this year. The Monaco Grand Prix is screened in 70 countries.
The challenge is to set up these 50 cameras on the circuit. The blue spots are where the cameras will be. In the pits, there are 22 cameras across 250 meters. They're on platforms and roofs with different structures and different mountings, but always in accordance with security regulations. We have to film the whole Grand Prix story as best as we possibly can.
Image, of course, and sound.
How's it going?
Everything's fine. Quiet.
For some fans, Formula One is a symphony of engine sound. Cutting-edge technology is required to ensure nothing is missed.
As such, we can capture not only the sound of the engines, but also the braking and the tires when they go into spin. And of course, the sound of the car, which is exceptional. The goal is to position the microphones as close as possible to the track.
They have 2 days to set up their cameras and microphones all along the track. One of Key Grip Philippe Julien's favorite views is from the roof of the Fairmont Hotel.
They brake on Mirabeau, and then there are all these S-bends, and here they attack. So there are often collisions at Fairmont, which makes this camera essential. It sees all the clashes. It's a great vantage point. There you go. We had to install a roof because the gulls were attacking the cameraman. They put this on, and the cameraman's pretty much safe now.
The cameras are connected one after the other. And in the control room, the screens are finally turned on.
Second shot there. Right now, we're testing the casino camera opposite the giant screen. It's different now, because all this part has been redone. Everything has changed. That's it. We need to check if the bend is the same. Compared to that, then we can adapt if it's moved.
Monaco is the last Grand Prix of the Formula One Championship to still be filmed by the organizing club, to maintain control over its image.
The Monaco Grand Prix is a theater that only operates because there's sport. That's to say, I've always reminded my guys they work in TV. And yes, there's theater in that, but the city is a theater. The city is beautiful.
With just a few days to go before the Grand Prix, the new Marshals want to immerse themselves in the atmosphere.
Oh, are we on the grid? In pole position?
Yes.
They are discovering the starting grid, the track, and the stands for the first time.
Wow!
This is nice.
The view's amazing from here.
And further on are the pits, where their heroes will soon be.
Oh, no way.
Wow!
Welcome to the Monaco Grand Prix. Lights out, away we go. Good start from Hamilton. Got to hand it to Leclerc. That was pretty smart.
Yeah! What a race! Ah non, c'est génial.
It's amazing. So cool. It makes your eyes shine a little being here in Monaco.
And here's a stroke of luck. They bump into Romain Pugliese, assistant to the General Commissioner.
Is this your first time?
Yes.
Yes, as a marshal.
This time next week, they'll be driving.
Romain offers them a tour.
This is great.
Oh là là!
Each team sets up the way they want. Carpets, partitions, the environment, everything. All the decoration. Mercedes puts wooden boards on the stairs. It looks really clean. The top floor is the best.
Feels like we're in a different world.
Totally.
It's like being backstage of backstage.
Doesn't get better than this.
That's where Verstappen crashed. Hit the wall there.
Yes, I think so.
Oh, il a tapé Verstappen. C'est le pire moment parce qu'il reste moins de 10 minutes dans cette séance et sa voiture, eh bien, il vient de la foudroyer. Premier accident majeur ce week-end à Monaco et c'est Max Verstappen.
He hit over there, that's it. And then he crashed there. Totally nuts.
This morning, for the first time in 2 years, a Formula One car will finally enter the pit. At 59 years old, Frédéric Lajou is a very lucky amateur driver.
Hello, team.
1 month before the Grand Prix, he has bought himself the luxury of driving this legendary circuit. These Italian mechanics...
Easy, she's sleeping.
Don't wake her up, be careful.
Deliver this new toy, a 1978 Arrows.
It was these F1 cars that made me fall in love with motorsport and Formula One. It's much more physical because you shift gears by hand, there's no power steering, it's muscular driving, it's raw, it's brutal.
Wait a second, we need the chocks. We'll put them in the front and see what happens. Easy, easy, easy.
This Monte Carlo native paid the princely sum of 300,000 euros to drive the car of his dreams.
I'll take the nose.
Is it straight?
Yep.
That signature there is Ricardo Patrese, who drove this car back in the day.
Ricardo Patrese raced 256 times between 1977 and 1993. He had a long career, marked by an incredible victory here in Monaco in 1982. On the finish line, he thought he was fourth. He didn't know that the 3 cars in front of him had abandoned, 2 of them having run out of fuel. Frédéric Lajou didn't enter this amateur race to shine like Patrese. He did it to honor the memory of another driver. Antoine Hubert, the great French hope and boyfriend of Frédéric Lajou's daughter, Julie, who died in a tragic accident on the Spa circuit at the age of 22.
When you experience something like that, you no longer see things the same. I drive to drive. I want to be on the track and drive without putting pressure on myself, without setting a goal. We'll see what happens. It's not important. Not anymore.
The entire Formula One family has come to support Frédéric Lajou in his race for Antoine.
Charlotte, how are you?
Great.
Charles Leclerc was Antoine's childhood friend.
So that's what you're driving?
Sure am.
It's amazing. It's a beast. And you're doing it more for fun now, or do you still do some tests?
To be honest, since Antoine's accident, I'm about having fun and enjoying myself. I'm driving for him. It's like I set fewer goals for myself somehow. You want to sit down?
No, I'm cool. With a car like that, I've got no advice to give. Just be careful, because I imagine it'll be quite exciting to drive. And enjoy it. That's the most important thing. Ciao, have a good weekend.
Bye, Charlotte.
Radio Monaco. Radio Monaco. Made in Monte Carlo.
Bienvenue, la saison des Grands Prix de Monaco est enfin ouverte. Ce matin, premier tour de piste pour les voitures du Grand Prix historique. 110 concurrents ont répondu présents.
One month before the Monaco Grand Prix, the Principality hosts amateur races in vintage cars. From the 1950s to the Formula Ones of the 80s, all driven by what are called gentleman drivers. This Grand Prix Historique is also a dress rehearsal, a full-scale test before the Formula One race.
Having a race before the Formula One Grand Prix allows us to get back into practice, because we host only these races, so we're not specialists. If we have some races beforehand, it makes life easier.
The 12th edition of the Grand Prix Historique starts in 2 hours.
Attention, le circuit sera fermé à la circulation à 9h30 ce matin. Réouverture prévue à 19h30.
I got up at I don't know what time this morning. I was ready. I couldn't wait anymore.
Zoe is the only woman on her team.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Ladies and gentlemen, and we're lucky enough to have a lady with us this year. Should we get set up? Here are your tools. These are shocks for the car. Case 4. You really need to pay attention. They hit that barrier over there at the entrance to the casino, and the cars end up going off course.
We come hurtling along to the Saint-Devote rise.
We must be going at 250 or 270 kph as we go up. And then the road goes down again, so the car becomes lighter.
These 3 level changes have an impact on how the car grips.
And that's something else you need to anticipate.
This pressure change in the steering wheel must work in tandem with the throttle, because otherwise you lose the rear.
You need to remember that here, it's like a coin toss. We might have nothing for 4 days, and then find ourselves with 22 cars stuck. If there's a really big impact, you'll see. The red flag will quickly go up and we'll intervene. You'll see what it means to be a marshal, why we've been here for so many years, and why you see several generations of families working here.
It is 9:30 a.m. and the circuit is officially closed. The last workers are still out on the track.
There are a lot of people here all of a sudden.
La première journée de fermeture.
The first day of closing is important because we have to check everything, make the openings in the barriers, and check all the sheds are properly locked.
Final inspection. The General Commissioner and his assistant will give the green light before the competition can start. In 2 months, Christian and Romain will have done more kilometers on this circuit than the Formula One drivers. The General Commissioner even checks the bolts on the manhole covers.
Even a plate like this that weighs 30 to 40 kilograms can be lifted by a race car. There's a suction effect that happens under the car.
They repeat this check every morning for all races.
It's 3 minutes until the closing, or rather the opening of the racetrack by the race directors. So we need to hurry through the pit lane. In 15 minutes, there'll be cars where we are now.
The circuit is now race ready.
It's such a thrill to see cars passing by so close at speeds like that. It gives you shivers.
During one of the practice runs, one of the cars spins. It skidded on a patch of oil.
Give them the red and yellow, and when the cars arrive, wave them to go past on the outside.
Come on, guys. Over here.
The oil could cause a series of accidents.
Slowly, slowly. You have to push it over where you trampled it down.
Without all these volunteers, there would be no car racing. These men and women might be behind the scenes, but they're absolutely essential for the smooth running of the race.
The competition can resume. And in the middle of the onlookers, a familiar face, Charles Leclerc.
Merci.
I've been following Charles Leclerc since he was 14 years old, when he was showing great talent in karting and the different formulas that brought him to F1. His career began in an extraordinary manner with 2 Grand Prix wins in 2019. He's a very good ambassador for the Principality and for motorsport in general.
Carlos!
How are you?
A visit to the Ferrari team to say hi to René Arnoux and John Alesi.
It must be really powerful.
The power-to-weight ratio is very light. These cars weigh 480 kilograms.
How many HP?
That's 500 horsepower. There are 3 pedals. Clutch is super smooth. The steering wheel is really nice. And the Ferrari gearbox, very easy.
The young driver admires these old F1 gems that were cutting edge 47 years ago.
Oh, it's beautiful. It was totally different back then, but it's just as beautiful. These cars are not as safe as they are now, and you can tell. There are some big crashes now, and drivers just walk away unscathed.
I'm impressed by the crashes that happen, and then the guy climbs out of the car.
These 3 drivers have a total of more than 25 Monaco Grand Prix between them. It's a race that's always irresistible.
Monaco is special. I think it's special for all the drivers.
It's unique. There's only 1 Grand Prix like that.
Monaco is a circuit where the driver can make the difference. I'm not saying you could drive a terrible car, but could still win the Grand Prix. That wouldn't happen. But you can make the difference in qualifying to gain 1, 2, or 3 extra places. That's where the driver, his feeling and his ability to manage these millimeters of track can really make a difference.
You have to apply yourself, you have to be proactive, and you have to impose the rhythm on the car. On other circuits, it's a totally different way of driving.
There are a lot of bumps, which gives the track character. And we love that. As a driver, you always want to push your limits.
It's 78 laps, and it's the longest race of the season. We know that drivers want to win at Monaco, and we know that the team needs it. We know it's a great feeling, and in that environment, to get to the podium, it's really amazing. So we suffer for it. We really do.
This is not the Grand Prix of high technology. No, here it's the driver who really makes the difference.
For this first race weekend in Monaco, 1 month before the Formula One, John Alesi and René Arnoux are driving Niki Lauda's Ferrari, a 1974 chassis.
Oh, brilliant start by Alesi!
When you drive a Formula One car in the city, with all that power and all those blind corners, you have to forget about almost everything you do on a normal circuit and get into the driving style that is really typical of Monaco.
You're always on the alert. I still have lumps and bumps on my back and in my elbows because of the gear changes. You do 2,000 or 3,000 gear changes per race. And then there's the clutch. It's extremely complicated. It's a totally different Grand Prix experience.
Complètement à part.
There are 18 laps on the program for the pleasure of these former champions and gentlemen drivers.
Oh, he's hit him! He's hit him! And into the wall!
But only 15 laps for Jean Alesi, who's been nudged against the barrier by a competitor. But the French star's not done with Monaco yet. And neither is Zoe.
Should I go around? It's my turn?
During her training, she won the chance to do a lap in the safety car. The safety car intervenes to slow down a race in case of accident, debris, or bad weather. The safety car is always driven by an excellent driver. And in Monaco, anything can happen.
You're treated like a princess.
For sure.
2 laps and a driving lesson.
You have to try not to get too carried away.
Right.
Because you won't be able to take the S-bend here, where you are, incidentally. You need to cut the corner to help the car turn. After that, the more fluid you are here, the better. Because as soon as you start turning the wheel or hitting the gas, you won't go very far.
Accelerating while you're turning is never a good idea.
I think all the flags are for you. That's it.
Excellent.
That was incredible. Thank you so much.
Merci beaucoup.
Thank you.
Ciao.
That was really great. Jean Alesi is amazing.
No kidding.
At the exit of the tunnel, he went right over the rumble strips, right against the barriers. After the chicane and after the tobacco shop, he went right over the rumble strips. It was crazy. I was right by the barrier. It was amazing.
Oh là là.
The Monaco Grand Prix would not be the same without the royal family. Following on from Prince Rainier III and Princess Grace, Prince Albert II visits the circuit and talks with the drivers whenever he can.
René, a young driver.
He looks good for a young'un.
I didn't remember that the tunnel was also closed at the exit.
Indeed.
And that we went so fast in it.
Sorry to say it, but he was all over you.
It's been 31 years since he drove on the circuit. Yeah, in '89.
You weren't born then, sir. You wouldn't remember. It was before your time.
Before the start of the last race, Prince Albert pays a visit to a local man he knows well, Frédéric Lajou.
This is the 1979 version of a model that was created in 1978. It was driven at that time by Riccardo Patrese and Jochen Mass.
How much does it weigh?
600 kilos for 500 horsepower. It's a dream of a drive.
Is that so?
It's amazing. And through the streets here, it's a childhood dream.
Have fun.
This is the first time this amateur driver has been back on the track since the death of Antoine Hubert, his daughter's boyfriend.
Come on, darling. Come on, let's take a picture.
His wife Claire has come to support him for this tribute.
Come here, hubby.
Ah, that's lovely.
Isn't it? I have butterflies. I'm always worried about accidents at the start. It's inevitable. And now the pressure is on.
What a weekend for the 12th Monaco Historic Grand Prix. The cars from 1977 to 1980, and hopefully lots of entertainment for us in the next 18 laps.
Le Gallou is starting in 12th place. "45 minutes into the race, and Frédéric Le Gallou's competitive streak proves intact.
But he has just driven impeccably. He's been really, really focused. He's been clean and back, and he's been quick throughout.
He finishes the race in 7th place.
I felt great in the car. It was really good. But I think someone up there was helping me.
The big party for the amateur race is coming to an end. The TV crews, Marco Basso, the barrier man, Christian Tournator, the general commissioner, and Zoe, all are ready for the main event, the show of the year.
I can't wait to be at the Formula One Grand Prix, just to see how fast they go around the casino square corner, and even to see Formula One cars in real life. I never had the chance.
Charles Leclerc is ready for what he calls the best weekend of the year. Between two Grand Prix, the Ferrari driver leaves his Formula One car behind, but never the Scuderia. He spends a few days in his city to rest and recuperate.
I'm at home here. These aren't exactly the same streets I drive in Formula One, but they're not much different.
To win here one day would be a childhood dream come true.
My earliest memory is being on the terrace of my best friend's apartment, which was at the exit of Saint-Devote. And we were watching real Formula One cars drive past while playing together on the terrace with toy ones. I remember dreaming of driving a real car one day, and now that time has come.
Tomorrow at the Grand Prix, he'll have to share the spotlight with the other drivers and with his hometown of Monaco.